Hello and welcome to Slice of Piefer. I'm Dr. Piefer, here with the one and only Taylor Hayden, PAC extraordinaire.
Yeah. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. I haven't seen you in a couple days.
I know. Makes me a little sad when you're gone. I mean, I'm good with like a day or two apart, but like after that, I get sad.
It feels like there's a little something missing.
Yes. There's
very little.
No.
Poor guy.
No. I mean, because we don't see each other on Friday, and then we have the weekend, and then you were out
Monday
a couple of days,
and Tuesday.
So that's too many days.
That is a long day. That's a long time apart.
Technically, we've done 4 years apart before.
Yes, also true. And you survived.
Barely.
Me too. We made it. We barely made it. But here you are, back again.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it. Well, I am back, fresh off of a trip to Rocky Top. There's pitter-patter of raindrops, in case you can hear it. These microphones are pretty good. They might pick them up.
Thunder rolls.
That was...
You know what that brings me back to? This is really random. So
yes,
when I was a kid being sick and staying home from school, I remember what did we all watch in like the 90s or whatever? If you were sick and home from school, what kind of TV were you watching?
I'm guessing Price is Right.
No. I was watching trash like Jerry Springer, Ricki Lake, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember the song Thunder Rolls makes me think of that because this guy, it was this very slim guy and his wife, and she was crying on Jerry Springer saying, he says our song is Thunder Rolls because I'm so fat. and so every time I hear that song now, I just think of that woman and I wonder how in the world she's doing. Did she ever leave that guy? Was it all staged? Like, was that a real thing or was, but I ate that up when I was a little kid just sitting there watching like,
oh, yeah. Yeah, Jerry Springer, Ricki Lake. I didn't watch any of those, really.
Really?
Yeah.
You missed out.
It wasn't my thing. Soap operas and that stuff. I mean, if we were home, we lived in the era of, like, be back for dinner. And so we would just, like, we're like feral children.
If you're sick, you're not going to go feralize. You're gonna be sitting on the couch with some Lipton noodle soup or Campbell's from a can. And
we were a different kind of sick. Like, if you were sick, you got pushed to school, and if you were like dying, then you were home. But then you didn't feel like watching any TV. See,
and we like, I mean, I would have to stay home, but like I'd stay home by myself. Like if it wasn't like you were actively dying and your parents were having to take you actually to see somebody, like you would just, hey, like you're good. Just don't leave the house, Have
some lollipops or some ice pops or popsicles or whatever.
Yeah, I was also entrusted to make ramen noodles or Lipton noodle soup. But yeah, I watched a lot of that. I didn't watch soap operas. My mother, I can vaguely remember watching a little bit of that. But in the evenings, it was always like the classic. Like we watched Alf, we watched Seinfeld, Home Improvement. Those were always like the evening.
I agree with those.
Evening lineup that Dad always wanted to watch. We
had the after school lineup was like Thundercats, He-Man. Then for a while it was like Charles in Charge. I don't know if you remember that one.
I do remember it.
What's the one that had
right after school
Bob Saget and those people?
I was going to say Full House, Saved by the Bell, and Family Matters were like the ones that I wanted to watch. But Dad would want to watch Home Improvement and Seinfeld and Alf. Sure. I remember that one randomly. But during the day, it was always like, my sister and my brother have been having an affair. Is the baby mine? Today on Jerry Springer. And then
you are not the father.
That's Mari Povich.
Sorry.
But then you had, what's his name? The guy that sang, This Is How We Do It. Montel Jordan. He also had a show. Steve Wilkos, who was the bouncer on Jerry Springer, then got his own show.
Steve, they chanted his name, didn't they?
Steve. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe I watched more of it than I thought, or maybe I've seen old videos or something.
Oh yeah, but Mari was the one for if you like had a paternity test you needed done. Like that's the one.
Mari.
Oh yeah, Ricki Lake and Sally, Jesse Raphael. That was another
nice
daytime host I can remember. But yeah, I watched all all that garbage.
Very cool. Yeah. I mean, it's
primetime entertainment.
Stuff.
I mean,
Primetime entertainment for the sick kid. How do we get onto this subject?
We were talking about, I sang Thunder Rolls. That's how it happened.
Nice.
This is, I told you it was a tangent.
Random flow of thought. I like it.
Sometimes it's just mouth diarrhea. It just happens.
Now we've gone medical.
Paints a picture.
So bad. So bad.
Sorry, you're going to hear the opening of this now.
Uh-oh. What is it called? AS something? AMR?
Oh, ASMR.
ASMR.
Yeah, that would be going like...
So dumb.
So dumb. People find it very soothing. I'm not a person that needs that, but...
I hear what you're saying.
But I do need this Alani.
Nice. So what did you do this weekend? Partied like a rock star?
What did I do this weekend? My stepson flew into town, so we...
Nice. I saw pictures. You guys did family pics.
Yeah. And love.
But you were not in...
I was in some of them.
You and Dan were not in them together. Because you were having to take pictures of each other.
That's how it works. It was a random, like, last time I waited too long for Bluebonnet pictures, like, and they died, right? They were dead by the time I got the coordinating outfits.
Dead bonnets.
And all that kind of stuff. And so this week we were like, you know what? Pull the car over. We're going to do them now before it's too late.
Get out of here, kids.
Mm-hmm. Go on, get. Yeah, so that was fun. What else did we do this weekend? Great question. Don't remember. I took care of and kept 4 people alive.
Well done. Mm-hmm. Well done. That's that's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chrissy and I, we went to Tennessee. So we had a fun time. We started hearing rumors about TSA. TSA was 4 to 6 hours at IAH here in Houston on Thursday and Friday. Mm-hmm. So we looked at a ton of different options, and then finally we're like, okay, I think we're going to be fine. It's Saturday. We'll just make sure we get there really early. Mm-hmm. So we had a flight at 2:55. We had to drop off her car because the air conditioner is broken. So we had to drop that off, and we dropped Caleb off at a track meet. Mm-hmm. And so he was at the track meet. Cameron was volunteering. We went to the airport. We arrived at the parking garage at 9 o'clock. We walked from the parking garage into the gigantically long line of TSA that was essentially empty. We passed through TSA at 9:12.
Nice. What did y'all do for like 6 hours in the airport?
6.5 hours in the airport. So you can't even like go to a American Express lounge or any type of anything until you're 3 hours before your flight. So we were still 3 hours before that. So we looked at all the art in the hallways. We went to different stores. We didn't buy anything actually, besides like some coffee and something. We got some breakfast or something like that. But yeah, it was quite interesting. Now, the crazy thing was that people from the day before were asleep in like all of the chairs and benches all over the airport. Mm-hmm. So we're like walking in, like we just made it through TSA in 12 minutes, and there's people like just passed out on a hard bench in the middle of a hallway. Mm-hmm. Like, God, that stinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go get some coffee.
Let me just step over this person.
So, yeah. So, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. Tennessee was really fun.
What did y'all do?
We flew into Knoxville. So we stayed in Knoxville. We went and ate dinner at a really nice place. The food was amazing. And then they had a music festival in town called Big Ears, interestingly enough.
What did you eat though? I need to know that.
What did we have for dinner?
Yeah, what did you?
All kinds of fun stuff. It was like kind of a
small tapas or something.
It wasn't tapas, but they had like multiple small things. Like we had like a pork belly biscuit, and so it was a little bit Southern flair on it for sure, for sure. But they had a ribeye steak and all kinds of fun, cool stuff.
Did you get the meat sweats after all that?
No, because it was like reasonable. Like 4 to 6 ounces at most, maybe closer to 4 ounces. Mm-hmm. Like it was just not like a gigantic Texas size steak. So that was good. Mm-hmm. Good to not have that. Yeah. But yeah, so that was super fun. We had a blast. We enjoyed Knoxville. We went and drove around the campus for University of Tennessee. Just kind of checked that out because we obviously got kids who are going to be starting to come out. A few of our kids' friends and neighbors. In fact, one of our neighbors, their daughter is going to UT.
And by UT, we don't mean the University of Texas.
The University of Tennessee. Next year. So she's a senior and going there next year. So we got to go around and do that. And then we went from Knoxville to a place called Blackberry Farm. And that was really, really fun. Neat. You got like your own little cabin. You had a golf cart. You could cruise around. You could play pickleball. You could go. We did shot sporting clays. So Chrissy's never done that before, which was super fun. So, and she is a natural, a little scary, but she was.
I had a feeling she would be.
Also, she's very competitive, so missing a clay was not a thing that she was going to be really super highly tolerant of either. But I think she hit the first like 6 in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Like, it was pretty good. And then I got a video of her hitting 3, like pull, 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 pull. So she did really well.
Awesome.
Then I got one relatively lucky shot where I shot 2 crossing with 1 bullet at the same time, which was kind of fun.
La-di-da-di-da.
I mean, it's not really a bullet with one shotgun shell. So that was super cool. That was really fun. And then we had a nice dinner, hung out, drove around the place. We had a couple of friends that were there with us who we've been places before. And so that was super awesome.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Blackberry Farm sounds like it might be like a vineyard.
So it's a 4,000-acre working farm that has the second largest wine cellar in the country.
So yes.
They have like 176,000 bottles of wine.
So did you go drink some vino?
We did. We drank wine. Oh, it was fabulous.
Did you order a bunch to have shipped back to your house, to your wine cellar?
Not yet. I'm sure we will. And then they also are the largest American producer of sheep's milk. And sheep's milk is used to make cheese, apparently. Mm-hmm. So there was lots of sheep and little lambs, and we got to see the little lambs.
And then you milked the sheep?
You had the opportunity to milk the sheep, but we did not.
You just did it for fun.
No, I didn't. I milked no sheep. But
are you sure? You can be honest. This is a safe space.
It was.
Did you milk appropriately, though, is my question.
Would I have milked sheep? Yes, but the milking time was 5:30 a.m., not on my vacation schedule, and 5:30 p.m.
That
also,
sheep would have been okay with you coming a little later.
Hello, sheep. How are you?
Have you ever milked an animal, period?
Yeah, I've milked cows.
Okay. Like just like for fun one time, or did you ever like?
So Chrissy and I, we were in the same service organization at Texas A&M, and one of the things that you did, like one of the opportunities, was to go and milk cows at A&M.
So you got to do it on
like the real deal. So like you went out and you milked them, hooked them up to the udders, collected the milk, all that fun stuff.
Gotcha.
Hooked. I mean, I don't think they're called udders. Whatever you stick on there to get the milk.
Would you like to guess how many types of species of animals I have milked?
I will guess you have milked. We'll just go with this: cows, goats, sheep.
There's one more, and it's pretty obvious if you think about it.
Cats.
No, I've never milked a cat.
Hold on. Let me just keep thinking.
You're so smart.
If you're talking about something else.
No. I am a human woman who's had children. I said, how many species of animals? I've breastfed children.
Milking yourself?
Yes.
That's gross.
Had to do that.
This is not going to be
the principles that I learned while growing up.
The principles you learned from cattle, you applied to yourself.
And
well done.
When the occasion called for it.
When in Rome.
Do as the Romans do.
When in Rome.
Correct. So yes, you got them. That's the only ones I've ever.
I figured you at least milked a cat.
Yeah, I've never milked a cat.
That would be difficult.
Makes me think of that. Meet the Parents.
Yes. Yep. Have you ever milked a cat? No. Well, yeah. So it was fun. TSA was easy, but we did have to spend. It was 2 choices, right? Spend 6 hours in line or spend 6 hours standing around. And I think spending 6 hours standing around was better. You know, standing around, sitting, going and getting coffee was better than standing in line for 6 hours. So,
right.
So that was good. We got lucky there. So we had a fun time. It was awesome.
That's
very,
good.
very nice.
Coming back refreshed.
Glad to be here. Feeling quite refreshed.
It's a little bit easier, I would imagine, going on vacation without kids and all that stuff. It's actually kind of comes across more like a vacation, I would
Also
imagine.
very true. The kids did great. They, my parents were at the house, so they rocked and rolled with the kiddos. I mean, 17, 15, and 13. So they're, even my parents were like, they pretty much can take care of themselves. It was like, so they were basically there to make sure nothing crazy happened.
Yeah, no house parties. Bummer.
I think my kids would be, I don't think my kids would do it, but I think it's good to have somebody there, you know, because like one night we got a phone call like, hey, such and such's stomach is hurting, you know. It's like, let's make sure he doesn't have appendicitis. Sort of thing.
We, my parents went on a vacation and we just, you know, it was just the four of us, my older sisters in charge. There definitely was a house party, and my brother's finger got shut into a car trunk, and it's an old school one where you had to use the key, and so it got locked in the trunk, and so the guy who was clearly not of good sound mind at that time struggled to get the key in and get it out, and so we had to take him to the ER the next day to get it trephinated because he was hurt. I mean, he was crying and screaming. It hurt so bad. He had so much pressure under that nail, and then actually it was a couple days later because it was pus. So it ended up getting infected as well because he was just a young, dirty boy.
Yep, that's true.
So, but I remember my parents coming home from vacation and they were out of the country. So there was no like call them to let them know what's going on back then. No cell phones or anything like that. They just showed back up home and he's got a giant bandage on his finger. Welcome back. Don't look at Rim's hand.
He's totally fine.
Yep. But I'll never forget that, seeing his finger locked in the trunk, going, what in the world?
How old were you?
Pretty young. Pretty young.
Thanks for sharing.
I think I was probably 10, maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And then I remember because my sisters, while they were having the house party, were like, here, watch Waterboy, right? With Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
They let me rent a movie from in town, a VHS tape. And so I put that on in my room, me and Remington by ourselves, like watching it. And half of the house party ended up in that room with us watching Waterboy.
Watching Waterboy, sure.
Yeah. Like just there with us.
It's a good flick.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. And hard to believe that guy's one of the wealthiest people in all of Hollywood.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler.
He was quoted recently saying that he wants to make another 50 movies before he dies, and at least 25 of them will be good.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, he's really funny. He's a really, really funny guy. Very talented. So,
yeah.
Very cool. What else? What else is new? We had a lot of surgery in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Busy. Very busy.
Yes.
Lots of stuff you brought in from Call that's been fun to play with here in the clinic too. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're working through the battle of the major health system and the major insurance provider, right? Trying to figure out when they're going to shake hands and become buddies again, so that we can do cases at our hospitals for these patients and whatnot.
It's super frustrating because I'm thinking about it from the patient side of thing, who's taken off work. Some of these for major surgeries, which they had to take time off, get it approved, or make arrangements, have locums people come in to cover stuff, and then may not get to have their surgery, which is super frustrating.
I agree. It's interesting to see the progression of how that's happened, because I think it's happened between the big hospital systems and the insurance providers. It probably happens throughout the country, and it kind of stinks, because really the patients and the doctors and the teams kind of get stuck in the middle, and it trickles down to staffing. Because if you don't have the cases, then you don't have the staff and whatnot. And so it never, they don't last long without each other. They've got to work together in the system. And that's the challenge.
It's just who's willing to say like uncle first, or who's willing to make concessions and so. And I get it. I understand from the business side of things why that's important. But at the same time, it's just frustrating thinking about our patients who are going to be the ones who are ultimately paying for it now. Right.
Right. But it's such an interesting environment, because there's not really much of an amount that patients can influence or physicians.
They can right now ask for like a continuity of care, which is like an exception form they can have filled out to see if their insurance will allow them to keep the but like I can tell you, as somebody who's filled that form out many times, because my kids have a rare genetic condition, and there are times when insurances have changed, and we're trying to keep the DME supplier or the people who provide their formula, or the people who provide their medicine, or their physicians, or their special therapists and stuff, and we'll fill out that form. And you know how many times it's been approved?
Zero.
And you know how many times I've appealed it? Every single time. And you know how many times the appeal was approved?
No times. That sucks.
And so that's what I mean
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that piece is the piece that gets lost a little bit. And obviously, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors and how those negotiations are really working. But it does seem a little bit weird to have it go all the way to this point, Like we get...
And we've been through this before. I mean,
right.
certainly, but...
You get through and it's like, okay, 6 weeks ago we got the notice, hey, just so you know, April 1st is around the corner. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks ago, then 3 weeks ago. Then...
It just feels like a staring contest to me. Like, that's what it reminds me of. Is like, okay, one of you eventually has to blink.
Right.
Right? Like, be the advocate for your patients, Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know I don't know how those things work, because it seems like in order to have that hit, right? Because the way the insurance company gets hurt is when their patients come in for emergencies, right? And now they're out of network. So they have super high bills and there's not a contracted rate for the services that are being provided. So they're getting the elevated rate. And so then that is a big tax on the insurance company because they're having to provide for those emergency type services, whether it's a pregnancy or whether it's a car accident or a gunshot wound or whatever it could possibly be, anything, heart attack.
Ground level fall at home with a hip fracture.
Right. But they have to cover that and they have to cover it at a cost that's super, super high. But then, the flip side of that is that the hospital doesn't get any of their elective cases. So all of those joint replacements and other different things that could be that are not considered, they are non-emergent cases, those don't count. And so they have to go someplace else or the patients just have to wait. Mm-hmm. Or they go find another provider who will take them to a different facility where they can pay the in-network rates and pay their copay and go forward. Mm-hmm. So it is a challenge. And I remember in the beginning thinking, man, this is really scary that they're not going to get this worked out. And then it seemed like every time in the days right before, there'd be kind of like a kumbaya letter like, hey, we're so excited that such and such is going to get to work with such and such. And now we're so glad to partner to provide the highest level of care in your community. Mm-hmm. After they just, kind of
gave everybody panic attacks for the last 6 weeks.
Talk nasty about each other for 3 months or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then here more recently, we've seen less and less of that ability to kind of come together. Mm-hmm. Right. And so, I mean, we still have a couple of like different providers that like there's no end in sight. Mm-hmm. For the big ones that we're dealing with right now, I expect it's going to be better in the next week, but week or 2 weeks at most. But you never can tell. Very, very strange. Mm-hmm. But it does put patients at limbo, and it has real ramification for our patients. We were talking about that. You were sending me a message this week, and I think in my high level of optimism was saying it's going to work itself out. And here we are on the day that it was supposed to work itself out, and it ain't worked out yet.
Nah, no April Fools.
Right. So
Whitney did pull a prank on me this morning, by the way.
What was that?
She told me she had a special treat for me, some brownies. And then she pulled out from behind her back 2 letter E's that she made brown colored, out of just paper that she drew a bubble letter E and colored it brown and then handed them to me. And said, April Fools.
Did you laugh? Because that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I laughed.
That's pretty classic.
Of course I laughed. I'm not some kind of psychopath.
Well, I would have laughed at that joke.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
She was so proud of it. She did it pretty early this morning.
How did she figure this out? Did they teach her that at school?
I don't know how she figured it out, but it was pretty.
She doesn't have internet access, does she?
No, but they watch.
Maybe they watched on TV or something.
It could be from something like that. They have limited access to the television, but yeah. That would be good. I haven't had any. No one's gotten me with any April Fool's jokes. We are currently recording. The mics are working. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm not a big April Fool's prankster.
I'm not itching all over or anything crazy like that.
Give it a sec.
I don't have any infections on me or anything.
You imagine if I had made it where you had something on your hand, so you had blue on your face or something like that, and you just did this whole podcast with.
Now I can imagine what our podcast cover is going to look like. It's a Blue Man Group.
Yeah, just
April Fools.
a little bit like Braveheart is kind of how I'm imagining it.
Right.
They can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Never take our podcast.
Could you please AI him as Mel Gibson from Braveheart with paint on his face? That would bring me great joy.
That's probably doable.
Probably.
What are you going to be AI'd as then?
Nothing.
Pocahontas?
Pocahontas?
I don't know. Just
How does that have any relation to Braveheart?
maybe I was thinking back to another Mel Gibson movie.
Oh, well, Mel Gibson is the voice of John Smith in Disney's Pocahontas.
There you go.
Did you know that? I don't think you knew that.
Maybe so.
I don't think so. But that is the 1 degree of separation
There
there.
you go. See? Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
I'm the one who made the link. You didn't.
Or did I?
Oh, Lord.
That's called gaslighting.
Yeah.
Maybe that may not also be called gaslighting. Who knows? I'm just not up with this newfangled terminology. What else?
No cap.
Anything did we learning about leadership stuff this week? Everything was good. We're reading the book Extreme Ownership.
I'm done.
You finished it in just a couple days, right?
Yeah, I'm a speed reader.
What'd you think?
The concept of extreme ownership I really like. I enjoyed listening to their applications of it. The kind of flip-flop between military and like corporate was interesting to me. And then for some reason I can't get the phrase Juliet 51 out of my head now because he said it no less than like 50 times in a row. And so now it's stuck in my head.
Nice.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. The audiobook version versus reading it, I'm not sure which one I liked more. I probably would say I enjoyed listening to the audiobook version.
They have very distinct voices.
That they do.
Although I always associated the Jocko voice with the more raspier voice.
That's funny.
I just hope that was what I always thought, but I don't know why.
Leaf Babin. I enjoyed it. I think that the concept of it I really like. I would love to see how our team takes that and uses it going forward. I think that I feel like the world would be a better place if everybody kind of owned their stuff, right? And this isn't specific to our team, but this is just everywhere. You know, if you go somewhere and they forgot you ordered your grocery pickup, and like the other day I did it. I'm not going to say which grocery store, but I did a grocery pickup. Had to sign a thing saying I got all my stuff, which they put in the trunk, and I got home and I was missing 70% of the groceries.
No way.
Yes way. So we're talking hundreds of dollars of groceries here that were not given to me. And like the back and forth, like some places, there's the opportunity to say, well, you're trying to steal, stuff from us.
Right.
We have a thing here that you clicked saying you got your groceries. I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't in the back with the person putting them in the trunk. I got home. And then when I was unloading the groceries, I'm like, this is a lot less than I thought that I ordered. Maybe I didn't actually click these things. And then I look at the receipt and I'm like, no, I clicked all of these things.
Right.
And paid
That's
for all
crazy.
of these things. And I mean, I was just kind of like baffled. And then others which have the opportunity to say, hey, we fell short here. Let's make it up to you. When can you come back by to pick up what you weren't able to get, But anyhow, it's one of those things.
Were you able to get your groceries?
I was,
leaving us hanging.
I got my groceries, but they made the process so hard for me after they were the ones who messed up. Right.
Right.
So they couldn't I had sent them screenshots of hey, these, and highlighted the items that were not given. Could you hand type out the item number, the quantity, all of that into an email? We can't accept screenshots. So literally making me write all those items out in an email, and then, okay, well, you need to give us a 6 hours heads up about when you can come get them.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that falls into the same, that's both of our books, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Because extreme ownership is owning that from the side of the vendor, right? From the side of the grocery store. but also unreasonable hospitality, right?
Yeah.
Like you make that process easy. You own your mistake. You make the process easy for you, and you as a customer may never shop anywhere ever again.
Right.
But you make this miserable. You make it an unreasonable thing because, I mean, unless people are just stealing from you left and right, if you make it unreasonable, then now, now
coming up with your process
right?
of
I can
how
go to a grocery store 5 miles away just out of sheer desire to not have to deal with this in the future.
Well, in thinking about it, like again, from the ownership perspective of, okay, who was the person who brought the groceries to the car? Okay, it was this person. You didn't notice that you only put 5 bags in the trunk when her order was $300 worth of groceries, and then again, being the manager or the managerial side of that going, wow, this person utilizes this services. Why? Because she's full-time working mom with a bunch of kids, and this is the easiest way for her to get her groceries. And look at this. I can see where she does this often.
Right. She's a regular customer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like
loyalist,
right.
And I mean, there have been a few times over the time I've used the service where things have been missing or whatever. And it's never been that big of like I could send a screenshot of, hey, this item wasn't given. Or this item, I ordered a dozen eggs and 6 of them were broken.
Right.
And they always tend to make that easy peasy. Like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, come back by today. When you pull up, just send a text to this number and they'll bring them out to you.
Right.
But didn't make that process easy. Made it a lot more challenging. Right. And it's just kind of frustrating. You had an opportunity there to, again, make me continue to make me this lifelong, lover of this store. And,
Yeah. I agree. I mean, but simple things like you see with, like in this particular case, right? Like if they just took a picture of the stuff in the cart that they pulled out, right? Or they took a picture of it sitting in the back of your car, just like Amazon. I mean, sure, every time you get an Amazon package, they take a picture or a Grubhub delivery or something like that, right?
My favorite was Amazon one where the package was definitely extremely damaged and they took a picture, put it on there. I'm like, guys, you can see it in your own picture, half the box is missing. And you put it in the direct stream of water.
Just toss it. Yes. Perfect. But in your case, obviously somebody takes a picture of that and they see there's only 5 bags or there should be 20 bags. Right? Yeah. It's that would have been a simple solution too, that you wouldn't have to have dealt with. But
oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my hope is, I think that a lot of things have changed here that are super exciting. I think that the team is continuing to work harder and harder to provide a super high level of care. I think that, we're not as good as we can be yet, but I think we're getting there, myself included, in terms of always getting better and always getting better and always getting better, whether it comes to efficiency, hospitality, what we can do to make life better. And I think that's really, really fun, right? And owning that is if your default is how can I make this better, as a leader or as a team member, right? If everybody's default is how can I make this better, then that changes the mentality of whose fault is it, and that part I think is really refreshing. And like you said, if we did it more across the globe, it'd be a whole different world.
Yeah. So another song popped into my head, but I resisted the urge to sing it.
I believe the children are our future.
Gosh, we hang out too much, maybe. I thought we hadn't spent enough time together, but maybe we spent too much because it's exactly the song.
Really? Taylar.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other in many, many days.
I did have another patient ask if I was related to you.
Really?
This week, yeah.
Because I am so attractive.
No, I'm not saying that. That would thereby saying that I think of myself as attractive.
No, that the patient thought both of us were attractive.
Yeah, no.
Thanks.
They thought that they just thought we looked alike.
That is very flattering for me.
I was like, no, we just hang out too much.
Yeah, very flattering for me.
You know how they say people look kind of like their dogs or whatever?
I'm your dog? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
I
think it's a similar thing.
Meh. Yeah.
You even just did my verbal stimming. You just did meh.
I did. I sent you. I think I even sent you some memes. I sent you some good ones for videos for this week. We got to do some videos. The whole marketing team is like, when are we doing more stuff? So I think maybe next Wednesday.
you would pick next Wednesday.
Why are you out next Wednesday?
No, it's just, again,
Do you have clinic or something?
currently, yes, because it's not blocked or anything.
We can look at it. It'll be later in the afternoon, probably.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping by next Wednesday I'll be back to being able to work out at lunchtime again. So,
How's working out going?
well, I took a break for the last week to nurse my wound.
Yes.
Let
The
that
flesh
heal up.
wound.
The flesh wound. 'Tis only a flesh wound. But I went back yesterday for a resistance day, and it was good.
Nice.
I was able to push some heavy weights around, which always feels nice. I can tell not working out really makes a difference for my mentality.
Right.
Like I feel like if I'm not exercising and moving my body, I don't have that outlet, I can feel like my temper's a little bit shorter. I feel a little bit on edge a bit more.
Yeah.
And that was
I
the
hear
only
you.
really modifiable thing. Like everything else, like my diet was still as it typically is. Everything else was pretty routine still. But
Nice.
that was the only thing that changed. So I was like, yep, definitely makes a difference. Need to keep that going.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
So
Christy and I rode bikes. That was fun.
were either
very
of them
uphill.
electronic?
No.
Nice.
No e-bike work. It was the real deal. I did lose my hat because I put a helmet on and I hooked my hat to my belt, and it had a little, thing on the back, and it came off somewhere. Then we got in the golf cart. and
You made
drove
somebody's
around to
day who found that hat.
Who found the hat? Right.
What kind of hat was it?
It was just a baseball cap because I can't be out in the sun with this.
Did it have anything on it?
this
Was it just a
noggin.
plain baseball cap?
No,
or
I had
did
to
it
buy it at the place at Blackberry Farm. So it was like a nice
Blackberry Farms hat?
Blackberry Farm 1976 50-year anniversary hat.
Okay. That's what I was
don't
trying
know
to
that
figure
it was
out.
like a 50-year anniversary. Like it wasn't like a vintage hat. It was just like a baseball cap that they had their little logo on. But when we got there the first day, we were outside eating, and Chrissy's like, "You got to get a hat." I was like, "Okay, I will."
Did she give you some expired sunscreen to put on?
I did have sunscreen. I don't think it was expired even.
Nice. She cares.
I told her it was SPF 50, and she was like, "It definitely isn't." Like that's mean. But it was her sunscreen, so
There you go. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
yeah. No, it was really, really good. Yep. And we got cases on Friday. We got cases on Tuesday. We got some more call coming up to finish out this month. To begin this month, I should say, because we're now beginning of April. April Fool's Day. Nobody's trying to play any April Fool's jokes on us today,
Well, I already told you about mine. So
but on us in general here in the office.
no, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like it.
To be determined.
Yeah. TBD. How are the kiddos?
They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Rocking and rolling. Felicity gets to do the reading at Mass for school soon. And it's like
Nice.
a super long one with a bunch of very
difficult words.
difficult words and names in it. But she got assigned the Old Testament reading. So she's excited. So we were working with her on that. As you probably remember, Felicity has just a little bit of a lisp. And so getting her to pronounce things somewhat correctly is a little bit of a challenge, but she's doing well with that. Whitney's doing well with gymnastics. She's advancing and doing really great.
Nice.
And Axel still, desires to become a robot someday. So
In this day and age, it's possible. You never can tell.
he's really working towards that, or he wants to be like a, Halo Master Chief. So he's got big goals.
I like it. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and they're all excited
Yeah,
because
you'll have
Big
to
Brother's
tell-
hanging around with him right now. So they love it.
How long is he in town?
He goes back Monday. So he's down
Is this
for-
their spring break or something?
They have Easter break up there, so instead of like a big spring break, they combine theirs with the Easter holiday. So we always get
it's
him
a
for
full week over Easter. Interesting.
yeah. So school starts again for him on Tuesday.
Nice.
So Monday is his traveled back
Very
day.
cool. So yeah, we've got Holy Thursday, Good Friday. We've got Easter Sunday coming up.
Where are y'all doing your Easter at?
Like, are we gonna
Go out of town or anything?
We'll be at St. Anthony's. No, we're gonna be here. Chrissy may actually take Caleb on a trip later in the afternoon or evening on Easter, and then come back on Monday. I think they might go do a college visit Monday or something.
Wow. Won't that be fun?
So yeah, that's what I said.
Cool.
Well played, sir. Well played.
We'll be heading down to the coast. So,
Nice. To be with your family, right? Yeah. That'll be good.
Yeah.
And then when does Connor go back?
Monday.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we'll go down there, spend some time on the water. When apparently the weather's going to be not great. So
Really?
it's supposed to be raining. Yeah.
Huh. It rained on me today, heading to my medical executive committee meeting. So busy.
You're so important with all your meetings.
This is very true. I think that the Braveheart face though will be the.
I think it's a good look.
Key.
But if they do that,
great.
they got to make sure that the hair just starts down here, not up here.
Just here.
Keep this as it is, and then just add here.
So bad.
Like a
so
skullet.
Yeah. The AI. Did I talk to you about? I talked with you about AI. It gets harder and harder, man. Everybody wants you to interact now with their AI emails and bots and text messages and all this stuff and scheduling, and it's like, golly, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
Oh yeah, that's a whole thing, and that's what we were talking about the other day with Dr. Vidala about like using AI, but not using it as a replacement for personal interaction.
Right.
And like, I mean, like I even like my kids like pharmacy. I love that I talk to a legitimate person every week. She calls me to talk about their medications, when it's going to be delivered, what time, do we need any of these things? And I mean, like, yes, it stinks that I have to do this every week right now, but I'm talking to a live person who like knows the importance of what this is and makes sure that it gets taken care of and gives me information to. Whereas the other pharmacy that originally insurance was trying to force me to use was an AI bot that I couldn't communicate with. It didn't understand. It just kept giving me like rejection codes based off the fact that my kids don't feed from an ostomy. And I'm like, yes, this is an odd situation. They need a formula that sometimes gets fed through a G tube or a J tube, but they don't need they don't have one. Well, rejected because of this. I'm like, just let me talk to a person, like any person.
That's the crazy thing is sometimes you just get into that loop. And I mean, some of the biggest names in tech right now, like you can't really contact a live person. Like if there's a challenge with your email or your search or your order, like it all goes through that. And that part is like crazy frustrating. It's like, can you just talk to somebody?
Yeah. Like,
and that part is, I think we're in some of these service industries, like where we are, I just don't see that there's an ability for that. Like there's going to be such a strong desire for that interpersonal interaction to get together so that the people can learn and talk to somebody. Like maybe that's the whole point is, if we can use AI to drive people to have better interpersonal connections, then that would be really cool.
Yep.
But it can shore up and free up time so that people don't have to deal with that. But like I don't particularly mind ordering my pizza from a bot, but I think ordering like a specialty medication or trying to figure out what's going on with my knee pain is a lot tougher. So. But I mean, I even had a patient today who came in saying, I think it's my SI joint, and it wasn't even close.
Right.
Like,
yes.
That's what my search showed. Like that is not what you've got.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of that recently too. I put it into ChatGPT and it told me this, and I'm like, well, I 100% disagree with the ChatGPT's response.
Right.
Like.
Well, and because the response is generated only from knowledge that it can find going out and trying to search, and then it's trying to make a decision that's 100% dependent on what you're giving it. Right. And so I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. We see it in radiology reports and all that stuff. We've talked about that before too. But anyway, I think it's crazy. Now, if I can get a bot to make me a really good pie, that would be cool.
That would be nice, a pie bot.
Maybe we could do that. Start a company.
Perfect.
Do you want a pie made by a robot?
It could make it better than Dr. Piefer makes it.
Do you want a pie made by a robot named Axel?
Meep.
He's going to love it. Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, I'm excited for the year to keep going. We have like lots of cool, fun stuff coming up in terms of just not only activities, meetings. I think as we keep launching more and more website stuff and everything, the group is moving towards doing more advertising, which is interesting. So that's really cool to see them sort of embracing that a little bit more. So kind of cool stuff,
awesome.
Which is good. And then we just keep rocking and rolling, Keep trying to serve as many people as we can serve, and then we'll go from there. We got our hand guy is out, so now we are still in the throes of trying to find somebody to help with hand. So that's been interesting. Because there's lots of hand injuries. I think we've seen a little bit of an uptick here.
Oh, for
I think
sure.
At the other office, where there's been a lot more uptick, I should say, of that. But
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've definitely seen an uptick in hand, and a lot of that is stuff that we can handle, and then some of it is definitely stuff that needs that, specialty level of care that needs to be taken care of by a board certified hand and wrist surgeon. And so that's why, it's just knowing and having. Thankfully, we do have some really good resources in this community that we can refer to for now. So I've been happy to do that, and every patient I've done that with has been happy with the care that they received. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's nice when we can keep it in house, and I have somebody within our own group that I can send to that I trust. But it's so far it's working.
Right, and your clinics are getting busier.
Yes,
which is great. And I think having you here has been really good. If we start to get where you need to get back into the operating room, just tell me.
Oh, I enjoyed getting to help you out while Wally was on vacation. That was fun.
Yeah. Walter had a birthday.
Walter. I texted him. He did send me a text message back. It was like 8 hours later, but he did respond.
Good old Walter.
Wally.
I'm older than he is.
I'm not surprised.
I was like, Walter, we were born in the same year. Can you guess what year?
1928.
Close.
1976. 1979.
Correct.
It's like I work for you and have to routinely write your birthday down for things.
It's like you work for me and you have to continually use something to get into, to use passwords to get into things.
Shh.
Never. Don't use your birthday as a password, people.
Don't worry. I change all that so that nobody breaks into your stuff. You can't have ABC123 as your password.
You can't have password number 1. Password pound 1.
That was legitimately a password at one point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That has since been changed.
You can't get into my stuff. It's like a lockbox. Well, I think this is good. It's just me and you. We got a few podcast people coming up here in the future. We'll see what we can figure out to get more guests on. Seems like there's been a lot more interest. I ran into a couple critical care docs who are interested in coming on board. Had a couple of email requests and online requests to come on board from some super interesting folks, but I got to get them lined up first, and then we'll go from there. In fact, one of the guys who hosted the wine dinner, his name is Lawrence Fairchild. He is married to Jacqueline, who is a Texas A&M Aggie, class of 2001, whoop, with me and Chrissy. And he makes wine, and he was there in Tennessee. And we're like, you got to come on the podcast. We can do it virtually. It'll be super fun.
I'm still waiting for the number 1 requested guest to come on the podcast.
Dr. C. Piefer. Yeah, she is still holding out. She's still holding out. I don't know why. She just says, hey, I don't know.
She says, that's not my bag, baby.
She says, that is not right. Swedish-made podcast enlargers by Ricki Lake.
You did not.
Is this your book?
That's not my book.
Swedish-made
I swear
podcast.
It's not mine.
Podcast enlargers written by Christine
This
Piefer.
is my bag, baby. Austin Power reference. Oh my gosh, so good.
It's all good. Yeah. They did. They, at this dinner, they asked a question. They said, what virtue would you like for all? So it was very interesting. They had a lot of questions, but we had like Chrissy and I were asked one question that was like kind of a crazy globalish. And it was basically, what one virtue would you like for everyone in humankind to have? I was like, oh, wow, this is my kind of party.
What did you say?
So I opened with Chrissy's answer is that quoted Zoolander, that everyone was ridiculously good looking. And Chrissy turned red, cried.
She didn't cry.
She did not cry. No, I said, understanding the definition of love and having the courage to act on it. So willing the good of other people. If people will love each other, I think that the world would be a lot better. So regardless of who that other person is, right? If it's just everybody, if you make the commitment to love everybody, then that, and obviously if humankind did that forever, then that would be great. So that was my answer. But they had a lot of very interesting and cool questions, like what was a defining moment? What were these different things? Like, what would you do if tomorrow was, I mean, there were a few that were a little bit morbid. And then it was kind of funny because they had like 3 of them in a row. Like, what if you died tomorrow? What would you do today? Anyway. But it also seemed like it might have been a kind of a surprise to the people who were hosting the dinner because they were like, why is this
What a bummer.
It wasn't, I mean, it was still fun. I mean, at this point, people have had plenty of wine to drink. So everybody was making jokes and having fun. And a lot of it was trying to enjoy life, right? Like, don't take life for granted. Because you just have this one opportunity.
You only get one shot. Do not miss this chance to blow this opportunity comes.
Once in a lifetime.
You better. Anytime I get to quote Eminem, it's a good day.
It is a good day. So anyway, it was fun. I really enjoyed the dinner. I like talking to people about stuff that's
deep.
Yeah. I don't mind it. So solving the world's problems one podcast at a time.
I like to talk about superficial things. Like I asked Nan the other day if he would still love me if I was a worm. And he said yes. But then...
Did I send you that?
I don't know if you did or not.
I sent it to you. It said me.
Oh,
it was the little puppet.
Yeah.
I'm on the way to ask my husband if he would still love me if I was a salamander.
Yes. So it was funny that happened. And then later... so one of my like favorite snacks right now are these little like chicken maple sticks. They're like little meat sticks, like jerky sticks, but they're made from chicken and they're maple flavored. They're my favorite.
Yes.
And so I popped one open and was holding it like this. And I said, a little something to take the edge off, right? I said, see, you could tell I was meant to be a smoker, right? And it's an inside kind of joke because a lot of my family are smokers. My dad was a very heavy smoker. And Dan said, well, you would be alone if you decided to take up that habit. And I was like, told me the other day you would still love me if I was a worm, but if I decided to be a smoker, you'd bail? He goes, yeah. I was like, he's like, if you're a worm or a salamander, I could just put you in a little terrarium and you could still be cute and I'd keep you around. He's like, but if you're smoking, you're out.
Wow. Dan,
just started
he drew the line in the sand.
Smoking.
Nice.
Which that would be, that's a hard line for me as well.
I'm with you. I agree.
I can love somebody, like have a friend that's a smoker. I couldn't be married to somebody or share a space with somebody who was smoking.
I'm with you.
So,
well, very good. I mean, I think this wraps us for the day. Besides solving most of the world's problems, we'll have 2 major healthcare providers probably fixed by the time this comes out, just based on what we discussed today.
Nice.
Put the patients first. You can do it.
You can do it.
XOXO Slice of Piefer.
Yeah, I was going to say XOXO JP, which is always my
also true.
Favorite way to sign things off.
Yes. It looks good in medical records.
Correct.
Your leg is doing great.
XOXO JP.
JP. That is correct. Yeah, all good. We're going to rock and roll it, man. Let's play it out and go for it. Have a great week. We will see you next week. I don't know who our guests are or what we've got going, but we'll have something fun.
And I bet I'll have to be here.
And Taylor will be here. So hopefully so will you. All 85 of you.
You think we're up to 85?
I think we're over 85.
What?
I know.
Hey, when triple digits happen, you know what happens.
What happens? We get a song?
Brett Monroe comes back on the podcast.
Brett Monroe, you're getting called out today on the podcast by Taylor for triple digits.
Auscultate the testicles with your stethoscope. That's the memorable thing from that podcast for me.